Hey,
Hey
everybody.
everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to All About the Joy. How you guys doing? Hi Rick, Cynthia, Mario, Alma. What's up?
Hey,
Buenos
doing good.
noches, buenos dias, buenos tardes, depending on where you are.
Are we wearing Prince?
We
Is that
are
Prince?
official. It's
Uh,
official Paisley Park merch. Yes, it
Uh,
is.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Val Kilmer. I don't know if you guys are fans, but he passed away. Uh,
mhm.
yeah.
Just watch
So
Batman.
people,
Batman Forever. I just watched that movie because of him.
Mhm.
Like today.
you've never seen it before?
I have. It's been so long,
Yeah. You know what? I never fight with people about who the best Batman is. Like, I'm not going to go down that whole, but he had the hottest lips as Batman, and I enjoyed watching him as Batman. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, like if that matters. I've never been a fan of DC, but I do like the Batmans. But I do think he was that was not the best Batman. We'll just say that.
No.
That nor Clooney's was trash, garbage.
Look, I think Clooney's was worse
It
than
was
Val Kilmer's.
hot garbage.
Yeah, hot garbage. But I wanted to start a little bit with just talking about like one of the quotes that Val Kilmer is known for saying about regrets, because I was having a lot of regret feelings this week about a lot of different things, and I thought we would talk a little bit about it. But he said, "I have no regrets because I have lost and found parts of myself that I never knew existed." And I thought that was an interesting thing. I used to pride myself on saying I have no regrets, because I think if you do the best you can with the information you have in front of you, that's all you can do. That's the best you can do.
Mhm.
But I've been regretting a lot of things lately. So I just wanted to know what you guys thought about regrets, or about Val Kilmer, or about any of his movies, or go ahead, Mario.
Well, no, I mean, I'm gonna actually watch his documentary when it came out, remember? And it was very interesting to get his perspective and to hear his voice. As he was, on the decline. And so I got to learn more about him as the man versus the actor. And I think it was very insightful, and and it was a very kind gesture of his son to use his voice for his dad.
Yeah.
And it gave me a more rounded view of who he was as a man, not the actor. And I think he was a good man, and he was a pretty good actor. He's had some great stuff.
Juilliard trained actor. He was really way up there as a great actor.
That don't mean nothing.
Well, it does when it's Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer was an extraordinary actor. It's still shocking because he's young, and he had so much. Yeah, he was 65, but he had so much. People know him as Iceman from Top Gun, is what people know him from. But I remember, I think he was like one of my first crushes too. The movie was Real Genius. Which is a really, it reminds me, it's not at all the same as, but it's in that same time period of like War Games, that kind of whole, area, time period. He was a great actor. But I think one of the things that I regret, just to get back to that, because that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is I had opportunities that I didn't take because I was afraid. I didn't jump with both feet. And yet there are other things that I've done, and everyone thinks I'm like, oh my God, that's so scary. Like moving to California and not knowing anybody, But do you guys ever have any things that you wish you had done, and when you look back on it, you're like, damn it, I should have just done that. I should have just jumped in.
I wish I didn't get on the pole so much back in the day, but no, I'm so joking.
Maybe I know my nose. Thank you, Mario.
I'm so joking.
This is a G-rated show.
Well, they didn't see the show.
Is that how you met
Honestly, now at this age, I don't have any regrets, because all the decisions that I made, all of the things that happened to me, brought me to the places where I am, and taught me lessons, taught me valuable lessons. Now, if you would have talked to me when I was, 25, then I would have been like, oh, I regret so much and I wish I would have done this. And, but I think with age comes definitely wisdom. But I feel like I'm still constantly learning. And if there's things that I feel like I haven't gotten to do, I still have an opportunity to do them. Don't waste time. You can't buy time back. That's the one thing you can't get back. So don't waste your time on things that, steal your energy, steal your joy, just be
like what? Like what?
Toxic people.
Boom.
Well. And that is the end of our show. Exactly.
That's it.
Whether it's family, whether it's friends that you've had for many, many years, whether, whatever it may be, just don't waste your time.
You know what? I think that's one of the things I regret, though. I think what is that, and I'm really good at cutting people out. Like, amazing. And today when I was talking to Alden, we were having this conversation about regret. We were talking about Val Kilmer. I was telling him, like, I don't talk to people anymore that get on my every nerve. Like, if you can't make my life easier, I'm done. And there are people who they're not upset with me. They're confused. They're like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you? I'm like, it has to be easy. If it's not easy, I'm not doing it.
I just did a story yesterday, and I basically told people in the story, don't feel bad about cutting off bad connections when you were the only one doing all the work.
Hello.
And so, I don't feel bad about cutting those bad connections off, because if I was the only one doing all the work, then we didn't have a real connection anyway. So you know what? Chalking up the deuces. God bless you. Have a good life. I wish you well from afar. Bye-bye.
Right. But Cynthia, what about you? Rick, what about you?
I used to regret not going to college earlier and not taking advantage that my stepfather worked at BU and I could have gone for free if I would have gotten in. I know. But
really? I didn't know that.
Huh. But I think it was better that I waited, because at least now I didn't waste the time not knowing what I wanted to study. And that would have been money just, wasted. And even though I still owe student loans, but at least now I know what I want to do and I'm working towards that.
Is there a reason why you didn't do it back then that you know of?
I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So why waste the time and money?
Well, okay. This is one Alma and I have talked about private, but we'll share it. Well, I'll share it.
I was just gonna say, did you ask?
Uh-oh.
I'll share it.
Uh-oh. This is where it gets spicy. Go ahead.
No, it's, you know what?
I don't know what he's gonna say, so I'm.
No, we've had a very challenging conversation about having additional children, and so we should have had our second child right after we had Marissa, but I chose to wait, and I was like, I think it's too soon, and I didn't want to rush. I wanted some space, and now looking back, I kind of regret that. But then in other terms, I don't regret it, because I got sick, and I got really, really sick, really, really bad, and we had 2 kids for, Alma actually becoming a single parent at one point, because I was so sick. I was on dialysis. I was in the hospital months at a time. That would have been a lot on her. So I regret not having a child, but God understood why I wasn't supposed to have an extra child, because had Alma had that extra body all over her all the time, it would have been even worse for her, and even for me, because I have regrets, but then I don't. But that was one big regret, if it makes sense. You know what? I'm not doing this with you tonight. I'm not doing this with you tonight. Don't sit up there and give me this blank face.
No, there's a whole lot being said in the face.
I know.
Right.
I think they can feel it through the podcast.
I understand. I understand your feelings on the situation, but you know that those were not my feelings.
And we've had that conversation.
Yeah.
And I mean, so welcome to the newlywed game.
Because my understanding, Alma, if you could, I mean, we don't want to get all up in your business, but you would have handled it. You would have been okay with
She felt like she would have handled it. Yeah.
Your mom, whether you have one or you have five, you figure it out.
So let me ask, would you adopt now?
Oh yeah, but we have had this conversation as well. We definitely do want to adopt.
Yes.
But it has to be our grown, almost grown, because she's not grown up yet, half grown child, adult, semi-adult child needs to be in her own home.
Yeah, in her own space.
In her own space, so that we can bring another child into our home.
I think Marissa would be she would be a great big sister, but it just, when you have an only child over a certain age, it's just like you're raising two only children, and you would think that your only adult child would not demand the same attention.
I think that's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal. So, still hard, but it's normal.
Yeah. So no, yeah, we've definitely had that conversation. So that's definitely in the future. Now it's just about agreeing about the age range. So
yeah, I'm not changing no diapers.
So, and that's fine. I've agreed to that.
With the attitude. What's with the attitude?
I'm attitudinal.
Rick, what about you and regret?
I was gonna say, I'm currently still watching more of This Is Us. I'm in the middle of the second season, and
you regret you didn't watch it back in the day.
I didn't know it existed, so I can't
regret watching it now.
But yeah, Randall wanted to adopt, and then they adopted a girl, and she was like a troubled child, and he went, so it's really interesting, the whole thing, and then the mom and all that stuff. Anyway, when you said adoption, I was like, oh yeah, I just watched that. But mine is, and I think I brought it up before, it's work related, where I took a promotion that I didn't know in hindsight, but it was the stupidest thing I could have did, because I got fired 3 months later because I was the newest person in that department.
Yeah.
They laid off all the newer people in whatever department they were. Had I not done that, and I didn't even want to, like, they literally pressured me to do it. They're like, we think you should do it. We think you can do it. And I was like, I'm perfectly happy where I am, and had I not done that, it probably would have changed my life a lot, because after that, I got divorced not too long after that. But the one good thing that did happen, again, God knows what he's doing, I guess. My cousin, the one that died when she was 34, that I was very, very close to, that's when her cancer got really, really bad. And she needed extra help. So it all worked out.
It was still purpose-filled.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my scripture thought yesterday was, God, he works all things for the good.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You laughing?
Because we already know where her brain went.
Because I was just talking to Alden, who's an atheist, and we were having a whole conversation about how God works. And
really? With atheists?
Yeah. He's like a Ricky Gervais atheist. So respectful of everyone else's faith, but really smart when it comes to how having the conversation about the belief in God or not. You know what I mean? So it was that's why I started laughing, because I just had that. That's why I was running so late, because I was on the phone with Alden talking about too many things. But yeah. Is there a movie that you guys ever regretted watching? Did you ever walk out of a movie? Oh, I'm scared right now.
Oh, I want to know, Mario.
La La Land. That was the worst movie of
100%.
my life. I was so annoyed. No. I'm triggered. I was so annoyed. I actually walked out and I said, "Can you give me my money back because I can't get these 2 hours of my life back? Give me my money."
I
And
loved
they,
La La Land.
oh my
I
God,
loved it.
hot garbage. Oh my God.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
We will agree to disagree. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
we will,
wow. I don't know
because
what
it was. Yeah.
Garbage. Trash.
My God.
Basura.
Wow. Okay. Calmate. Calm down. It's okay. Like, it's not your thing. It's okay. Wow. Of all the movies, if you had put like 100
is not his
movies.
thing. We love musicals.
Yeah, I do.
We love musicals. Love them. And
I
that
love
was
La La
not
Land.
it.
Yeah.
That was not it.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you why you hated it. I'm the complete opposite. I would actually say it's in my top 20 movies. I thought
Bless
it was a
your
great
heart.
movie. Yeah, bless my heart. It's a good movie. I mean, I think also we don't have to talk about why I love it, but it is one of those pieces of art you either love or you don't. I don't know if I would ask for my money back, but whatever. Really? Okay. I thought it was going to be something like, well, to me, that's not the worst movie. So, Cynthia, you hated La La Land?
I did. I hated it.
My people.
Yes.
Wow. Rick, did you even see La La Land? You didn't see La La Land.
Heard of it.
You didn't miss nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
It was an awesome
Don't even look it up.
movie. Oh my God.
And I still don't understand how they
Don't
won.
waste the Googler.
Yeah,
No.
don't waste
What?
Rick.
They won? They won what?
Funny.
They won for Best Picture. They won an Oscar for Best Picture. How? I don't know.
It deserved it. It totally deserved
it.
It did. I think, too, look, we don't have to.
They voted studio lines. Yeah, but did not deserve it.
I'm Switzerland. I didn't watch it.
It's okay. We can just move on. I'm not gonna. Well, look, I think people have different tastes. You know what I mean? Like,
I've never been so annoyed at a film in my whole life, and I've seen.
I really tried. I tried, like really. I still stayed because I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna stay. And he waited outside in the lobby. He was like, "I'll be out here when you're done."
Wow.
Okay,
it
stop.
Was horrible.
I think it's your opinion, and that's fine. But I mean, I understand that you didn't like it, but it is just not your flavor. That's okay. That's how I feel about horror films and Disney.
No, I don't like horror films.
Yeah, I got you.
But I've had movies where I've been bored. I've had movies where I can sit through it. But I went to school for this. Like, I've studied film from the 1900s.
Is it okay that it just wasn't your thing? Can you just leave it at that? Can it just be like, what just didn't work for me? No, I'm just saying the entire Academy voted it Best Picture. It's possible. It's just not your thing. And I know there are plenty
won by one vote.
What?
They probably won by one vote.
It was still up in the running of the top 10 best films.
One vote.
Wait a minute.
Tell me you hate something without saying you hate it.
Wait. They didn't win Best Picture, did they? Didn't Moonlight beat them that year?
No, it won Best Picture.
No, they did. They won.
And it received widespread acclaim and won numerous awards, including 6 Oscars. Let's see what Oscars it won.
No, I thought Moonlight beat them that year. Oh,
you know what? It did go to Moonlight. You're right.
Yeah.
That was the one that was the mistake.
Oops. Yes.
Remember they said Best Picture was La La Land, and then it was like, nope, it was Moonlight. But it did win 6 Oscars. So actress, best director, cinematography, original score, original song, and production design. Yeah.
So when they announced it wrong? Is that what happened?
Yeah, at the Oscars.
They did. For Best Picture. It was a big thing, yeah.
And they announced it to La La Land, and everybody jumped, and they got up there and everything, and then they were like, oops, mistake. Yeah.
My bad. It's Moonlight.
Yeah. And I didn't even love Moonlight. But I get it. I get why it won, but I didn't love it.
But I did walk out. And that's the only move I've ever done of the Cable Guy. I told y'all I brought my then girlfriend, and then she decided to bring her friends. I'm like, I invite a whole. What you doing? And then the movie, I was already annoyed because of that situation in the first place. Mm-hmm. Then the movie, and I like Jim Carrey, but this movie, I couldn't stand it. I was like, I got to go. You could stay, watch it. I'm not staying here.
I feel you.
I can get behind.
But I don't think you hated Cable Guy as much as they hated La La Land. I'm feeling your energy.
That's some hate right there.
Cynthia, what movie did you hate?
Oh, La La Land.
My girl.
That was going to be your pick.
My friend. My friend.
Well,
You walked
that
out
one.
of the movie, though.
Well, no, I saw it at home, but that movie and Clockwork Orange.
Oh,
That movie was just really fucked me up. Sorry.
I get that. Yeah.
That was not
I
right.
love psychological things. Yeah.
no,
You know,
I
like,
actually
it
like
was
Clockwork
disturbing,
Orange,
but
I
Clockwork
got it.
Orange is a classic. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick, and
I
that's your
get it. No, I
genre.
get why you wouldn't like
Yeah.
it for sure. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
It makes sense why you didn't like it. But yeah,
nobody liked it. But I mean, not that nobody liked it, but it's the art. I mean, it's
it's
disturbing.
the art of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
Stanley Kubrick.
you never walked out of a movie, Cynthia? Ever? Literally walked out?
No, I've never walked out. No.
What about you, Carmen? What movie have you hated? Because I know you got one.
So there are movies I won't go to see. Like I would never go see The Cable Guy in a movie. But I've never walked out of a movie. If I go in, I'm like Alma, I will sit through it or whatever. Let me just give it a shot, whatever. You know what I mean? I think one of the movies that I regret watching was probably Silence of the Lambs. And I watched it. I know, but oh my God, what is with the two of you today, people? You guys are on fire. What happened?
Let me just
tell you why, because it's not my genre. I don't like anything scary or whatever. And the only reason why I watched it is because I watch every movie that's nominated for an Oscar, and it had been nominated. And somebody told me everything about it, and I went, and it to this day, it still disturbs me. You know what I mean? It's just like I still, I don't love it.
When you hear Chianti and fava beans,
Yeah.
That is the best movie ever.
I'm not saying it's not it deserved the Oscar that year too. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying for me, it's one of the ones I regret.
Movie, the best acting.
No, she's a little extra with that. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't that deep for me.
It's rare.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
it's rare for a horror movie to win an Oscar, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was. I mean, I think the reason why
it wasn't
really
considered
horror. It was considered
thriller,
psychological.
Yeah, like it was more acceptable because it was drama or whatever. But what were you going to say, Rick? I'm sorry.
I forgot.
Okay, cool.
You were talking about the best movie, Silence of the Lambs. You were saying something.
Oh, the best movie, yeah.
The best movie.
I just had something come up in my feed saying 10 movies that Black people get annoyed if you haven't watched. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. I saw everyone except one. And I was like, oh, I don't think I saw that. It was Harlem Nights.
No,
I know. I knew I was going to get that reaction.
Don't feel bad. I haven't seen it either.
Okay, we're done. That's it.
Okay, and that's the end of
that
this
Trump's
show.
La La Land crap. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's criminal.
That's criminal. La La Land we can fight about, but that's criminal.
Harlem Nights is criminal.
I'm gonna
watch it soon.
Wow.
No,
every other one I saw.
That's a good time.
Color Purple. I was like, come on now, I'm gonna watch that one.
No, go do yourself a favor and have a good time. That is a good time movie. You're gonna laugh.
That's criminal.
Della Reese.
I saw like a clip.
As my daughter says, that's crazy work. You haven't seen that? That's crazy work. No, it's like it's considered a classic for sure. Like
so funny.
When you see it, when you hear us say pinky toe, you're gonna know right away because it's a classic line. Everybody knows it.
Okay, I need to know what's going on with you two. What happened before you came on? There's something.
How bad sex?
Oh my. I also saw Paradise.
Oh, did you like it?
Loved it.
Loved it.
Two snaps around the world. Loved
it. I just took Cynthia out. She's done.
Oh Lord. Oh my Lord.
I live with him.
I never saw Cynthia laugh so hard.
What is happening? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to air this on Sunday. I don't know what's happening here. There's all this hate.
You started it.
I started it. What did I do?
You said, what's going on over there? Y'all spicy and all of this stuff.
I don't even know where we're going now. It's just going to be one of them shows.
Talking about regrets.
No, I guess we're not talking about
We
regrets.
regret
I'm
the show.
regretting we had this show today. I'm regretting. Whoa.
Well,
I was trying to have a topic show, but I think I'm done. I don't know.
You gotta laugh, man. It's just, you gotta laugh.
No, seriously, what's going on with you guys today? It's great, but what's happening? Like, what you guys do?
He already told you.
It's
that
Thursday.
it?
It's all the endorphins.
Yeah, just the afterglow of love.
The afterglow. Look at her red face.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
So red.
I have to live with you, like.
Oh my God.
No, we're just having a good day. That's all.
Oh my God.
You asked, so.
So who did you wrong that you had to post that on your story?
Oh,
Not who, but like, what was the circumstance?
well, okay. I have certain people in my life who will show up when it's convenient for them. But then when you look for reciprocation and or a need from a friend, and then they're not present for you, like, where you at?
So you cut people out, or you give them space, but you don't cut them out completely because you give them some grace or whatever?
Well, no, I start by having real conversations. I'm a direct person. I say what I mean what I say. And with my friends, it's straight, no chaser. You ask me, and I always ask my friends, are you sure you want me to give you my opinion, or do you want me to be an active listener? What do you want? And then they'll say, no, Mario, I want you to tell me the truth.
No,
okay.
No, truth.
Are you sure?
People always say that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Blah, da, da, da. And I'll just rapid fire it off. And they're like, they're shook. And so, okay, well, but that's the truth. And so it's not my truth, it's the truth. And they'll realize, oh, you know what, you're absolutely right. But then once they get their healing, and then I need a friend, they're nowhere to be found. And then that just, it's not.
You ever ask them why? I'm just curious.
Yeah, we also know that sometimes people are going through things, and I give people grace for that. But then there are some people who are just selfish and narcissistic.
That's a fact. That's true.
And then it's just simple as that. And
the reason why I ask is because I just, this is one of the things Alden and I were talking about, was I just turned around and said, I have cut people out and they're upset or confused as to why I cut them out. And I said, first of all, I don't have the time. Like, one of the things is I don't have the time to explain to you how to behave in our friendship, because we're 20, 30, 40 years on now. You haven't figured me out yet. Like, that pissed you off about me? And then you thought it was better to go talk to somebody else about it than to come to me?
Oh.
And you thought I wasn't going to find out about it? What are we in high school?
No.
So I was like, no, here's the thing I will not do. And I used the big word for myself. Even Alden was like, ooh. I was like, I'm not having performative friendships anymore. I don't need them. I don't owe nobody anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't owe you nothing. Just because 35 years ago you let me sleep on your couch once. You know what I mean? Like,
not once.
I've already been appreciative. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, enough already. So I'm done with the performative kind of friendships. Like, I'm sorry that you're annoyed at me, frustrated, or whatever, but I think people make up in their head who they think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then they expect you to behave that way all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I was just having the same conversation with all. That's why I was curious. Like, it's one of those things where friendships have to be not a two-way street, because it's not always the same time, right?
No, but it does have to be reciprocal in the fact that there's going to be times where I'm going to show up for you, and I'm going to be 100% there for you. Mm-hmm. But you're going to have to show up for me at some point, because if you're not showing up for me, even at 50% of the way that I showed up for you, then we really don't have a relationship. And it was
But
definitely
Mario, here's the problem. So I'm going to do what they said to me. Mario, you don't ever need me. You don't ever need me. You're on your own. You're so strong. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying.
But that would be my question. Who said that though? Who told you that?
Well, my whole thing was I didn't say that way. I said that is a belief system you've made up in your head.
Boom. But see, I straight asked the question. I'm like, who told you that? Did I say that to you? Did those words come out of my mouth? Because you're assuming, and you know what they say about assumptions. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, don't put words in my mouth. But you saw that I was struggling. You saw that I was having a crisis. You know what was going on in my life, in my personal life, as my friend, because I said, you know what, I'm going through this. Blah, da, 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 da. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all you got? Like,
well, no, if somebody tells me that they need something, I get it. But I'm also not a mind reader, right?
Right.
And you know what? Here's the thing too, though. This is an interesting conversation. Here's the thing too. Why is it I'm the only person you come to when you need something? Like, right? Like, there are 15 other people you can go. What? Wait, what?
Well, because we're kind of mirroring, like what your situation is kind of mirroring the situation
in
that
our lives. Yeah.
That we're
well, a couple of situations.
So and we're kind of handling it differently.
I got you.
So when everything that you're saying, it's like conversations that we literally were having last night.
Yeah.
Literally having this
like
conversation
just,
last night.
Private conversation where you're like, you know what, I'm tired of X, Y, and Z.
Only reaching out to vent, only reaching out to, all the negative. I'm like, well, it's like they're treating us like a garbage can.
Yeah.
They're coming and putting all the bad stuff.
You're dumping on me, but you're not pouring into me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I understand.
I'm not your trash can. I'm not just gonna keep taking all your garbage in, but you're not pouring into me.
Not sharing anything positive, not sharing, good, only bringing the negative. So
I told somebody the other day they need to go get therapy. I'm not a therapist.
And that's the next step. That's going to be the next step. And, but we're trying to do it in a kind way.
Yeah,
do it in a kind way.
I'm more bitchy as I get older, which is hard to believe.
What?
I know, right? I think as you get older, it gets easier to let go of people.
Yes.
And not to keep trying to get back to regret. But I do regret that I didn't go with my gut instincts when I was younger and realize that you don't have to have a whole bunch of people around you, especially if all they're spewing is toxicity. Like, I wish I knew that when I was younger and could have made some bigger, smarter decisions to let go of people much quicker. But it is kind of that thing where you're just kind of like, you're just exhausted by the sameness. And it's like what you're saying. People keep dumping negativity and toxicity in you. And then you're supposed to just take it or help them or fix it. And I'm like, bitch, I'm tired. I got my own stuff. And you're not helping me in any way, shape, or form. You're not doing nothing to make my day smile or make my day better. You're not even asking me, how
are you? That part. And see, for me, even I don't have to have a long conversation with you. I don't need a lot, but just check on me. Just say, hey, we haven't talked in a few days or in a couple of weeks. You doing okay? Everyone all right? That's all I need. Just to feel like, oh, okay, someone's thinking about me. Because sometimes that's just what people need. They just need to know that someone's thinking about them. Somebody cares, but, some people can't even do that for you. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you're on mute. I'm on mute too. And I'm really like done. And people don't understand. If I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's like a light switch. I'm just it's not even something I'm trying to do. It just happens. It's so interesting because you use the same verbiage, and I know what you mean. But they said to me, I need you to check on me on a regular basis because I need to know that I'm not alone. And I was like, okay, here's the thing. You have a husband and you have family, why is it my responsibility to check on you on a regular basis? And it was kind of this thing where it was like, I understood what she was saying, but it was also putting a lot of pressure on me. Like, so if I don't email you or text you or call you, then you're upset because I haven't reached out and text you and call you, but you could just as easily motherfucking pick up the goddamn stupid ass fucking phone and do the same shit.
That part. And that's how I feel about it too. Phones work both ways. I've had the same phone number for over 20 years. If you don't, so, you know, now if I feel like, someone comes into my thought, you know, to my brain, my thought bubble, I'm like, well, you know what? Let me shoot off a quick text. Hey, thought about you today. Hope you're doing well. Send. And that's it. I send the message and that's it. I'm not expecting a message back. I'm not expecting anything, but you know, it was on my heart to reach out to that person. So I did. Not expecting anything back, but you know, and that does happen from time to time. And I'll be like, you know what? I thought about so-and-so today. So I sent them a message. 70% of the time, they won't respond back.
See, okay, I'm gonna disagree with you then. So this is what we're gonna have. Anybody sends me a message, I respond right away. I just do it. I do it.
No, exactly. But like I said, that's just something about them. You understand what I'm saying? Not about me.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying? But I don't want to be like, oh, I thought about them. Let's say they fall over dead, you know, 3 days later. And I'm like, oh, I thought about them and I didn't reach out. I mean,
what has happened?
But you know, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm a little bit different. If I send you a message, you can do a fucking thumbs up in your text message, something to let me know you got it. If not, I'm very different that way. No, if I've gone out of my way and sent you a quick message, you can just thumbs up or a wave, something, because if not, then I get worried. But it's so funny. Like I haven't talked to Corbin in a long time. We haven't talked because he's been traveling or whatever. And so when he just called, I picked up and we were talking and I said, oh my God, it's almost an hour. And he's like, what are you talking about? We've always talked for like 3 hours. And I'm like, dude, we have never spoken this long. Ever. But it's so funny because you just get into the whole conversation, whatever. And it's just, I'm okay having the lull moments where we don't talk for whatever reason. You're in another country. I'm really busy, whatever. But real friendship can distinguish that between you just not being there for me.
Yes.
Because I know for a fact, if I text Alden and I knew he was in Switzerland and I texted him and said I needed to talk, that motherfucker would have been on the damn phone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Rick?
I love the ones when, you know, a person dies and all these people show up. And they're like, oh my God, they were such a wonderful person. It's like, really? Where were you all these years? You never called. You never looked for them. You never asked about their family. Like, no, don't come to my fucking funeral. If you haven't called me, asked about my family, when I'm gone, don't ask about my family afterwards because you didn't care when I was here.
I've given Marissa permission to do, and she knows. You'll know who's been in our lives and you'll know who hasn't. You don't have to. You can call specific people and tell them don't come. You're not welcome. Yeah. I told her she can do it. Yeah, and because I don't want, and I told her I will give you a list of the people who I want to make remarks, and you're going to pre-record them, and it's going to be played at the service. Nobody's going to get a chance to get up to the mic and say, "Oh, I remember." No.
No, she in control even when she gone. I love it
because I can't stand that.
Well, my cousin.
Rick was gonna say something. Like Rick, you were gonna say something.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna just put a little twist on it. I have a lot of patience, maybe more than almost anybody I know. I mean, look at my situation I'm living in. But everybody got a tolerance of what they can take, and I can't stand when people think they can keep abusing me. And I'll forgive because I'm a Christian and, 70 times 7. And yeah, I will try my best. But don't turn around and get mad at me when you have abused me and mistreated me and try to make me be the villain when I say I'm done with you. You did this, not me. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, I don't have a problem telling people I don't mind being the villain in your story.
That part. That part.
I never have a problem being the villain in your story at all.
Yeah. Not, and I know I am.
No, I'm a villain in a lot of people's story, and I'm happy to wear that crown.
I think also people, your style, the way in which you're just like Alden in that. I don't know why. It's because I just got off the phone with him. That's why we had a really great conversation.
Shout out to Alden.
Hi, Alden.
I know, right? Shout out to
Alden.
But and happy early birthday. His birthday's in April.
Birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, he'll be in Spain on his birthday. I still have to text him. But his stuff, we were talking about this. His stuff, he doesn't like confrontation, which you don't either. Whereas me and Mario and I believe Alma too, we okay with confrontation. We okay with it. We can handle
You get all the smoke.
And it's not one is better than the other, it's just different styles. You know what I mean? But the reason why some people turn around and do that to you and do that to Alden is because they actually think that they can make you feel bad for the circumstance that they did. You know what I mean? That they created. Whereas what they don't realize is that, especially because as I know you don't forget that shit. You may be kind about it, whereas I might just say the straight up truth. You don't forget it, and you do handle it just differently. You know what I mean?
There was a guy today on my there's a Facebook group I have, and this one guy, every time he pops in to say something, he's asking for money. I'm like, bruh. He's like, I'll send you the receipt. Our electricity got shut off. My wife got brought to the hospital. I ain't got enough gas to get to the job. I'm gonna get fired. Then I'm gonna and I'm like, okay, sad story. We all have one. I was like, but people are telling me they're sick of hearing you asking for money. So I'm giving you a chance. Please stop doing it. And he did it again today. And I was like, okay, that's it. Banned. And all these messages. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. I'm so sick of him. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Dang, I didn't know it was that affecting everybody that much. But yeah.
Well, because it's hard to keep hearing people begging for money.
The same person, though.
Yeah. I mean,
and the craziest thing is, he has never come on any of our broadcasts, mine or the other two people. I've never even seen him. Why are you coming here asking for money?
Even if he did, I mean, you and I both know of a similar situation where, this whole joke about me being bougie and having money has really bad ramifications because people then keep asking me for money and they keep going to other people to ask me for money. And so I had to turn around and cut people out because I'm like, first of all, even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you because I ain't a fucking bank. And secondly, why are you asking me?
No, it's okay for all the listeners and all the viewers. Carmen is not a bank. She is she's not bougie. She's bougetto. She is not bougie. Okay, there's a big damn difference. Get out of her pocket.
People in the back hear that? Just making sure.
Yes, all the people in the balcony, in the mezzanine, in the loge. All up in the corner in row ZZ.
Look, I've asked people for money. When I got in trouble, especially during when the economy tanked back in 2000, 2008, 9, and I lost my home like so many people did, and I couldn't get work after that. It was really hard. I asked people for money. Now I didn't do it like I asked my family, my brothers from another mother's, you know what I mean? And I didn't, here's the thing, I didn't have to ask them. That's what I'm saying. I didn't even have to ask. They knew and they were like, we're gonna send you this, we got this, we're gonna hook you up.
Yeah, what you need. We see you struggling. But
exactly.
See, that's family and that's friends who show up for you, who are supposed to do it the right way.
Exactly.
Unlike me, who had someone just calling me on the rando asking me for money, and wait, didn't ask me for money once, asked me for money 4 times. So
did you give it to them the first time?
No, I said no. I said, oh no. I said my daughter's in school, which she was. I said she's in college. I said I'm trying to, we're trying to wrap up school, tuition, all this stuff. Even though she was on scholarship, that's not the point. We still had bills we had to take care of. I said, no, I don't have it. And then they went down by $50 the next month. Well, can I have this much? I don't have it. And then it went down by another $50 the next month. I don't have it. I said, I tell you what. I said, send me your Venmo or your Zelle. And I said, when I have it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. which he
waiting.
Still
never
waiting.
got. Right, they're still waiting on. But I think that's it. Look, I've always said if I won the lottery, if I came into a lot of money, the first rule is anybody who asks me for money would not get any. That is.
So I'm asking you now.
I can't stand them. I can't.
That way,
I hope I take my half a day.
I have a prerequisite. I'm asking now.
You're
Rick with his half a day.
So,
Yeah.
so Mario and Alma, like, has anyone asked either one of you for money? And if you didn't have it, did they ask your spouse?
No,
No.
they know better.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Anybody who knows us knows that we are a united front.
And
So
we
it's
tell each
like
other
everything.
stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, there's
nah.
no.
Except with me and Mario. That's like
I tell people
I
all
know
the
the
time, I was like,
bullshit Mario look.
Yeah.
I always tell people if somebody's married and you told one, you've already told
Probably
them.
both.
I don't care how many
Mhm.
times you beg
But
them not to
Cynthia, I
say
know
it,
that-
you've already told them.
I know, Cynthia, that's happened with you and Juan. I know that's happened with you and Juan.
It's crazy. But for people to think that you could do that to one and not think that you're gonna tell your spouse or ask your spouse. But I mean,
Right.
I think that there's people who think like that's how you operate. But the thing is that if you've ever truly had a healthy relationship, you understand that it's a partnership.
I've had the opposite problem happen. So I remember somebody offered to help me, and here's the thing: this person has tons of money. Well, comparatively to us,
They're comfortable.
Yes, they're
yeah.
comfortable. Okay.
comfortable. And I forget why. I think it was during the same time period. And I remember being like, you know what? If you could send me like $1,200, that would help me just for rent for the next 2 months or something. I was like, and I could piece it together, whatever. And he was like, I got you. Don't worry, I'll do it. Here is the worst thing you could ever do. So I'm waiting for the money to come into my account or to be mailed. 3 weeks later, I have to reach out and be like, right? Like,
Oh, that's
don't
horrible.
offer people fucking money or don't offer someone who's desperate and say, I can help you. And I had to reach back out to him. This is why we don't talk no more. I swear to God, that's why we don't talk. Because it was so disrespectful. And then he said the spouse thing. He's like, you know what? I have to talk to my wife. And I was like, first of all, $1,200. You know what? I could see. First of all, I would never ask anybody for 20 grand or something like that. But $1,200 to this person is like you asking me for $5, and me being like, Mario, I got you. I'll send you the $5 right now on Venmo.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna make you wait 3 weeks, and then you're gonna. You said you're gonna send me the $5. Like
right.
To this day, it is one of the reasons why I have no respect for that person. Because it was such a loser-esque kind of excuse. And you don't do that. First of all, I know it's hard for people to ask for money. See, this is the other thing. I know what it's like to not have anything. I know what it's like to be desperate and to be in pain and to be suffering and to be alone and to needing whatever it is you think you need in that moment. I got you. And it's hard to ask for money. I've only asked for money, like myself, that person, and like one other time when I was a teenager. Any other time, people who have had money offered it to me because they knew I was in trouble. You know what I mean? Right. I know what it's like. So it's even harder for me to tell people no because I'm not a bank or I ain't got that. Somebody asked me one time, Carmen, I swear to you, asked me, can you lend me $100,000? I was like,
what?
I swear to you, this is like 4 years ago. They were like, could you help us out, us out? We're looking for $100,000. If you give it, and they had a whole plan and we could pay it back in installments. And I was like, did you say $100,000?
What did you say or do that would give them the idea or the familiarity?
I'll tell you what it is.
Ask you that.
This is why I don't tell people who I work for, but I think people always assume because I work for rich people that I somehow will have access to money or access to something. And I think that's what it is. It's like, and I stopped talking to that person too, clearly, because I'm like, you clearly don't know anything about who I am.
No, clearly you fell and hurt yourself mentally. You fell really hard.
On their head.
What Oscar-winning movie did you see me in? Because I never been in it.
Right.
Look
And
at La La Land.
can you IMDb me? So, you know,
I went
come
back
on.
to
It's look at I think money is really hard, and I honestly think Cynthia can vouch for this. I don't give a fuck about money. When I have it, I give it away. When I don't have it, I don't have it, and I do the best I can and whatever. I think money is an unfortunate thing that humans have to deal with, and if it wasn't cash money, it would be bartering. It'd be all the same shit. You know what I mean? Because that's how we function in society. But I think it's a really terrible thing because I think it hurts more than it helps. You know what I mean? Like as far as relationships go, like you have to know who your friends are when you don't got money, because when you do have money, all of a sudden everybody's going to be your friend.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
I guess
I think one of the things also that Mario and I always say, if we have it and we give it, we just give
it freely.
Oh yeah.
We don't expect to get it back. You know, if we do, then it's a blessing. We get it back. But if not, then it's not something that we're like, oh, they owe us.
Well, Cynthia, I'm gonna embarrass you right now. Cynthia lent me, I forget how many thousand. What was that about? See, everyone thinks I'm bougie, and I'm telling you all the times I needed money. I forget how many $1,000 you lent me, but
I think it was 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3, but I paid you back, right? Because that's the other part of this. You want to be somebody who honors your word. You know what I mean? So if you don't borrow money, right? So another person. I'm sorry, did I just embarrass you?
No.
Yeah, I'm not the bougie one, people. Okay.
What you're saying is Cynthia is the bougie. She's undercover bougie.
Undercover bougie over there, okay? No, I forget. I think it was during the same time period. Was it? I don't know.
Was it I think it was COVID? Right around COVID.
It was COVID. It was, it was during COVID, and you sent me a few $1,000s or whatever, and I think within the year I paid you right back or whatever, and that's what you have to do. You ask, like if you're gonna ask for money, then you actually should pay it back, because
and you were funny about it because you're like, I could pay you back this date, and I'm like, it's fine. I said when you have it,
I'll pay it back.
Pay it back.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with family like that.
But you know what? There's a difference between saying "Can I borrow" and "Can I have."
Oh, do people say "Can I have" to you?
Yes, I've had people say "Can I have," and if I have it, I'll say sure you can have it, because see, that way I go into it with the expectation of not getting it back.
Can I have $5,000, Mark? I'm asking you now before you get that money.
When I get it.
That's what I'm saying.
I got you, friend. When I get it, I got you.
What's your Venmo? What's your cash app?
Right, I already got your Venmo. See, that's the good thing. I got your Venmo. See, I ain't got to. It'll just pop up. When I got it, you get it.
Money is a difficult thing.
When we were really struggling, because like I was super sick, but then those were those people who were just showing up for us to say, don't give it back to us. This is a gift. You guys got Marissa. You guys got to take care of each other. Right. Or they would just show up with some groceries, or they would show up with some food, some dinner, or they show up at the hospital with meals for Alma and Marissa, or, or we have two of our dearest friends say, hey, let me come get Marissa so we can give you guys a break, or give Alma a break, and take her to the movies, or take her to the park, or get her out of the house.
Right. There are different ways you can pay back and
show up. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be money, but when you just show up and be present and just say, I got you. That's all somebody needs to hear. Those are the type of friends you want in your corner. So these people who I have now who are on some bullshit, miss me with that bullshit. So I'll see you over there, because then are you really a friend?
So do you regret having them as friends, or has it just grown into this?
No, not at all, because as the saying goes, some people come into your life for a reason, or for a lifetime. No, that was not Tyler Perry.
I thought Tyler Perry.
No, Tyler Perry's, and that's so funny because I just saw that Tyler Perry compared the friendships like a tree.
Right.
The tree has leaves, And some
right.
are like leaves.
Some people have roots.
They're green, you know, and they're nice and they provide shade, but then the strong wind blows and they fly off because they can't handle it, or they turn brown and they fall and they die and they're gone. Right. So some are like branches. Some branches are sturdy, but if you get too far out there, then they break. He's like, and then you have friends who are roots.
Right.
Those are the friends who are there and hold you down.
The roots are the people who have the money. No, I'm just kidding. Those are the real friends, though.
We love you, real friends. We love you, rich friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're absolutely right. There is, but then that's the difference in our friendships, and that's a whole other conversation.
That's it.
The cousin I told you about, we went to his funeral, and he told everybody, "Don't speak at my funeral." He said, because you didn't have nothing to say to me. If you didn't
give me my flowers
when I was here, don't give them to me now. And he sent that message through the pastor.
He said, so we will have no remarks here.
Yeah, there will be no remarks.
There were none.
And there were none.
And the family had an opportunity to do it. They had like a family small service the day before.
And they made a running joke about him and the fact that he made everyone sign a contract because he was rolling in dough, but he made everybody sign.
Oh, that makes sense.
And he said, "Okay, I'm giving so and so and sign here that I gave it to." Okay, and he said, "Not that I'm asking you to give it back to me anytime soon." He said, "But this is business, family or not. His son-in-law." His kids, everybody went up there talking about it, and I was
everybody talked about it.
I didn't know he was giving the money. I didn't know.
Oh, I know he had money like that, but yeah,
I just love
that's hilarious. When I die, I don't even want all that. I want a party. I don't even want everyone to get together. I just want everyone to celebrate my life in their own way. And Cynthia, you know my bench. What?
We're going to Disneyland.
We gonna cremate you, Carmen. We are gonna cremate you, right? We're gonna put a little bit at your spot, at your bed, and we're gonna put the rest in the ground.
No, you're not allowed. You're not.
How about a little piece of every Disneyland?
Right.
No, I will be sad and miserable, and I will haunt you. I will come.
We'll put you at the Haunted Mansion. That'll be even better.
You all think I'm going to die before you. That's adorable. It's very cute. Very cute. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want any. I don't want people to get together, whatever. But like, I want everyone to just send out an email or a text.
Oh, God. No, I love it when you see those stories and they say when I die, I want my kids to send out a text from my phone saying,
"Let me out of here."
"Let me out of here."
I love that. That would be
or why are you here? I haven't seen you in 10 years.
But it has to come from that person's phone.
Yes,
that is so funny. I should do that. I should put that in my will.
I want you to do that, and she's like, "Mom," I'm like, "I think I do."
I think I do too.
Send it out to all my contacts.
That'd be so mean and funny. All right, well, we're past. We're going to have to close this up. But any last remarks on regret or joy or money or friendships?
I said, don't live in regrets.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life. Enjoy your present.
Leave yesterday in your rearview mirror. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why I got to put our eyes in the front.
Boom.
Oh, okay. I never heard that one.
I like that
one. Cynthia?
Just enjoy every day. You never know when it's going to be your last.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Thank you, everyone. Remember, at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy.
All about the joy.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.